Welcome to Movies, Money and More. I'm Samina Rani and this is the show which goes beyond the glitz and glam of movies and brings you the real deal behind the film industry. First up, let's take a look at what's on the show. Show Me the Money. We take a look at the current status of film financing in India. How cool is Kya Super Cool Hai Hum, and has Ice Age 4 got the drift? Filmmakers go rustic in small towns and villages are where all the action is. Starting up a business is always tough. It's even tougher if you're in the movie business. How do you fund your dream movie project? Are there any film funds that can help producers tide over the hurdles? Mansi Fadnis takes stock of film financing in today's times.
These are B-Town's biggies. Now, what if you're not one of them? How do you fund your film? You could go to a bank. You could get backing from a studio. Or you could simply use Facebook. It may sound far-fetched, but this social network has emerged as a source of funding tried and tested by filmmakers like Anurag Kashyap and Onir. And the trend is slowly catching up. Popularly known as crowdsourcing, this new finance model is adopted by many independent filmmakers, like Hemant Gaba, whose debut film Shuttlecock Boys releases next week.
Crowdsourcing, especially by Onir's IM, has become a little well known, and there are people who are willing to do it for you. But if you look deeper, those people are somehow either related to you or they are related indirectly to you. For example, it could be my friend's friend or cousin sister of my friend. So that is very common, that thing that you see happening. And crowdfunding is definitely a model to look forward to, but I don't think so that it's going to work for every film. Now for Onir it works because he's become a brand now.
In India, crowdsourcing as a concept is still in its nascent stages. Unlike in the West, where it is a widely accepted model. There are over 400 crowdsourcing websites connected to Hollywood, which is in stark contrast to India, which has just 2 such sites. Apart from crowdsourcing, Hollywood also gets financial support from special film funds that not only cater to known banners, but also to independent filmmakers. Rakesh Zariwala of Ernst & Young says, Bollywood had tried to ape this model too, but has failed in the attempt.
Historically, those funds have not played the role of catalyst that they actually ventured out to be. There are a couple of reasons for that. Financial times, that time was very, very bad. People were skeptical putting their money into a project. This being a public money, they were more skeptical. These funds were very, very careful because they had investors to report to on a quarterly basis. Not very different from a listed structure, but at the same time, the fund model, they had reporting obligations, and some of the people probably decided to be more conservative in their approach, especially the way market was going.
And Hollywood too had its share of hiccups before the film fund model became a well-oiled machine.
A lot of venture capitalists and entities weren't investing in films for the mere reason that independent films carry a stigma, perhaps, that they don't make money. You know, a lot of times they're what we call passion projects. It's a movie that's so specific to that person, and they're not looking at it from a marketing perspective and a money-making perspective. And we wanted to change that. We wanted to make, Brian Ronalds and I, as producers, wanted to make movies that were marketable and still made for that independent film price.
However, filmmakers are increasingly willing to take unconventional routes even when it comes to financing. Apart from film funds and crowdfunding, another unique model that's emerging for small filmmakers nowadays is the barter funding system.
They'll work on corporate films and ad films, and they'll make their own network. So for example, if I give, let's say, 20 ad film business to X production house, post-production house every year, then I can probably do a barter deal with them. so that the whole film of post-production becomes very economical, or I get like a 50% or X percentage of discount. So that's one model that people are looking at. For example, the cameras rental or the actors hire or actors professional fees, those kind of things are going to be on either barter basis.
The road may be bumpy for small filmmakers, but big banners and studios have nicely carved out a model for themselves. Apart from kickstarting the project with their own funds, studios also get strong backing from banks. Unlike in Hollywood, where bank finance plays a major role at different stages, in India, the institutional financing comes in only in the last lap of filmmaking.
As far as India is concerned, the money is going only in the production part, or if a project is cash-strapped for any reason, then for gap financing. So most of the money in India, in terms of external financing, barring the bank financing, which is an end-to-end financing, or film fund financing, which again can be an end-to-end financing, the gap financing as well as the remainder comes from these sources. The real crunch, the gap financing, comes when your 60-70% project is funded already, and for some reason you are not able to finish.
Though banks have been doing business in the film industry for quite some time, Shailendra Singh of Percept believes that bank lending has seen a push only in the last 18 to 20 months. He also says that corporatization further brought in transparency in the movie-making business.
I think the transparency started from box office. The biggest gray area used to be when you didn't really know what your movie was making. Now, with the evolution of the cinema theaters being all online, you pretty much see your box office results above board. The middleman syndrome with selling a satellite or a particular right is all gone. It's direct selling to satellites. Satellites are all listed companies. Everything now in the system is pretty much transparent. So there is no black money. There are no dodgy people. It's a straightforward, very respected business. I mean, come on, for Ambanis are producing movies. Respected people in the industry are producing movies.
Going forward, with big production houses and studios having a thriving business model, it's the independent films which need an organized finance process in place. Bollywood has come a long way. With production houses like Eros International, UTV Motion Pictures and Mukta Arts going public, organized financing has become a reality. But it's still early days for indie filmmakers who are left to fend for themselves or find a friend on Facebook.